For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times. Before the Empire.
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. This is Christmas Eve. I am Christopher Stolle. Welcome back to Journal of the Jedi. Now, I was hoping to have some other guests on the show here to really discuss what I wanted to discuss here. Unfortunately, because of the holiday, everybody getting ready for Christmas. I mean, I've got some presents here for myself that I'm waiting to open till tomorrow when Santa shows up. Obviously, they're busy with their family and their friends and wouldn't be able to join me. I wanted to put out a video not only to be able to say Merry Christmas to everybody, but also I wanted to put out a video because something's been weighing on me since the Mandalorian season finale last Friday. And, it's something that I've been seeing a lot of people through fan sites, through YouTube channels that reacted or reviewed the episode after it was done. And of course, we did a little bit too in Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly last week, as you guys could see. If you haven't, go ahead and go check out that video. And obviously, we titled it "This Is the Way for Christmas" because we talked a lot of Mandalorian. But first and foremost, I want to let you guys know there's going to be spoilers right here.
Oh, you fucking twat. We got ourselves a fucking spoiler.
If you have not seen the episode yet, or if you have not seen like the recent Star Wars movies, the sequel trilogy as they're known, then, first off, what are you doing here watching Journal of the Jedi? But second off, make sure you go ahead and stop this video right now. Put it in your watch later folder. Go watch the season finale of The Mandalorian and then come back, because what I'm going to talk about does deal heavily with what events that happen in The Mandalorian, and then I'm going to go into a little bit about what I feel is wrong with a lot of people's opinions towards how The Mandalorian should connect to or should essentially people who bash the sequel trilogy. Now, I want to preface this beforehand. I'm not a sequel trilogy apologist, okay? I don't mind the movies, but yes, they're not the greatest Star Wars movies on the planet, and the more I watched them, the more flaws I found and everything else. So don't think I'm sitting here as one of those people that are like, oh, the sequel trilogy is absolutely great and you people are morons. No, I'm not saying that. But what bugs me about the hatred towards the sequels, I will address, and The Mandalorian will help me address that in some way, shape, or form. But let's jump into it here. The first and foremost thing, this episode truly showed what happens when you put Star Wars in the hands of people who care. The Mandalorian in general has proven that, but this last episode was it fan service? Of course it was fan service. Of course it was fan service. Why the whole entire show is fan service? Why else would we bring back Boba Fett? Why would we bring in a live action Ahsoka Tano or Bo-Katan or Cobb or mention Grand Admiral Thrawn or show the Slave One or whatever else? And of course, if it's not fan service, we wouldn't have the Luke Skywalker we feel we deserve. Okay. Now, I've watched a lot of reactions to that episode, and especially the last 10 minutes of the episode, where Luke is just wrecking shop through a hallway like his father before him, and then we finally pull back the hood and reveal that it is Luke Skywalker. They use CGI to de-age the face. Back to Return of the Jedi Luke, it was Mark Hamill's voice, and they used a body double to do the stunt work of Luke. Was it perfect? No, but neither was Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One. Yet at the same time, it still got the same reaction from me that Leia and Tarkin got from me in Rogue One, and it got the same reaction it got from me from Vader's hallway scene in Rogue One, and that is pure, absolute, unequivocal joy. Joy. I was a kid again. I was watching Luke Skywalker back in 1983 become the Jedi that I knew he was going to become at the end of that movie. And as a fan, I can't describe, and I shouldn't have to describe, what that feels like and what that means to each and every one of us who grew up with these movies and for lack of a better term here, have kind of become our obsession. You know, if we're real about it, it's become our obsession with the way we read the books, the way we read the comics, the way we collect the toys and the figures and the Grogus. And I mean, I've got 2 or 3 Darth Vaders sitting on my desk right now. Not to mention how many I have elsewhere. We love these movies. These movies are our children. They are our brothers and sisters. They are our best friends. This franchise has been with us through thick and thin. It has helped with so many people who have held terrible things in their lives or dealt with terrible losses. And then the movies were always an old friend that were there for us. So with that being said, I can't think of any franchise, really, I can't, that means as much to their fan base as Star Wars does. Which is why it hurts me whenever anybody pisses all over something with the Star Wars logo on it. I'm not saying you have to like everything Star Wars, but do you have to unapologetically bash things that you don't like? I didn't like Solo. I was very adamant about the fact that I did not like Solo. In fact, I was very adamant about, for longest time, how much I can't stand L337. To me, L337 is a worse character than Jar Jar Binks because of the social justice warrior elements that they threw into the character, the underlining, trying to feed political agenda to the fan base instead of just letting them step into the galaxy far, far away and enjoy Star Wars for what it is. With that said, I don't hate Solo so bad that I will shit all over it because somebody else likes it. The same way as I don't shit on Attack of the Clones, even though it is the weakest of the prequel trilogy, because somebody enjoys it. And as long as somebody enjoys it, they're a Star Wars fan. And to be honest with you, from episode 1 to episode 9, when I sit down to watch the movies, when I do a movie marathon, since they are all on Blu-ray right now, you guys can't see, but I'm actually pointing over at my collection for some stupid reason. You guys can't see it on off camera, but I'm pointing to my collection. I don't skip a movie. And I watch them in the chronological order. 1 to, Rogue One, Solo, 3, 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. I watch them in that order, and I just accept the fact that it's one continuous story in a galaxy far, far away. Now, just like many other things in the world, in real life, there are going to be plenty of things that you love and plenty of things that you don't, that are still part of the story or the history or whatever of it is that you're following. There's been numerous times that has happened in real life, so why can't it happen in Star Wars? Now, I'm not bashing your hatred for the sequel trilogy. If you don't like the sequel trilogy, you don't like what they did to Luke Skywalker, you don't like that Rey's a Mary Sue or they cloned Palpatine, cool. Don't care. That's your prerogative. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion in every way, shape, or form. But we've got to address this now. They can erase the sequel trilogy. Now they can turn around and retcon everything and make those movies never exist. And I will explain why I am completely and totally against that. It isn't because I'm a huge fan of 7, 8, and 9. It isn't. It isn't the fact that I don't believe that the Mandalorian hasn't started down the road where they could change things and connect them to the sequel trilogy in some way, shape, or form to make them more accessible or connect to the original trilogy better, or at least give us some explanation on why the characters turned out to be the way they are. None of those reasons are the reason why I will defend not getting rid of 7, 8, and 9. My reasoning for it is because we will never get performances from Carrie Fisher again. Even with CGI and everything, we won't get it. We won't get another performance of Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca or Kenny Baker as R2-D2. These people, these are the last movies that they were in with the Star Wars logo. So love or hate them, it is the final loving performance of legacy characters that we absolutely adored. And I hate to see those wind up on the, for lack of a better term here, the cutting room floor, simply because you didn't like the way the stories went or the visions the directors had. Now, I'll tell you what I would do. Okay, and it's subjective. Art is subjective, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and I've got one too. But I will tell you what I would do, which almost feels like a middle ground to everything. I would leave 7, 8, and 9 the way they are. If I were to compromise, I would maybe allow a special edition of them. You know, film some new shit to try to help kind of fix some stuff in it. And that's fine. And as far as The Mandalorian and the spin-offs like Ahsoka Tano and Obi-Wan and, you know, not Andor, because Andor's, you know, more sequel trilogy. Although Andor could fix some shit too.
Hi, this is Dave from the Comic Collection, the ultimate comic store here in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Northeast Philadelphia. Come and see all of the great stuff we have here at the Comic Collection, including action figures, vinyl, CDs, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, back issues, action figures, old action figures as well, statues, and of course, let's not forget comic books. Come visit us at the Comic Collection at 83 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, PA 19053, right next to Northeast Philadelphia. Come visit us. We'll look forward, and yes, we are open during this pandemic thing.
Actually thinking about it, no, Cassian Andor could fix some shit too, and of course the Republic Rangers and, you know, all that. They could all tell stories that will help interconnect more of what happened in that 25-year span from The Mandalorian now to Episode 7, The Force Awakens. But once we're done that, I still don't think Episode 9 is a proper ending to the Skywalker saga. Now, I'm all for Rogue One. Let's have the Rogue One movie. Absolutely. But I think we should also be looking into the future of Star Wars and building into an episode 10, 11, and 12. And those are where you truly fix the plot problems. Those are where you take what 7, 8, and 9 did and you fix the story arc. I don't care how. You could do Jake Skywalker. You could bring back Rey and have her officially train. Maybe she finds Grogu and Grogu trains her, you know, or whatever the case may, or Ezra Bridger. I don't care. I don't really care. I'm not looking to speculate that far ahead in the story arc. But the fact of the matter is that at this point, I would not erase 7, 8, and 9 because I would not want to see the performances of the actors and actresses who played our most beloved characters lost because of the fact that we just didn't like the movies they were in. I don't want to see those. And then, of course, I know people are going to say, well, they're not lost. You got them on Blu-ray. But yeah, but I don't want to have a collection of non-canonical Star Wars videos that are like the GoBot version of Star Wars, or looked at as the GoBot version of Star Wars. Although they're not the greatest Star Wars movies ever made, I would still want them to remain canon and just build off either from both ends, from The Mandalorian to The Force Awakens, and from Rise of Skywalker to episode 10, 11, and 12. And at 12, that's where you put the Skywalker story arc to rest. Obviously, it can't be Luke, so it would have to be Rey or somebody that's a lineage of Skywalker that we don't know, or maybe, whatever. Maybe somebody you bring over from the legends, like Ben Skywalker, although we had Ben Solo, so they would probably switch it up and make it like Jason or Jancius Skywalker or something. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is there's so many different places they could pull this arc from to where they could fix the problems that a lot of fans had. And of course, during the 25-year gap, we could have a Skywalker spin-off movie, miniseries, TV show. Do we do it with Mark Hamill? Maybe not. I'm on board with the idea of Sebastian Stan playing the role. I love the fact that they gave Mark Hamill the opportunity to give us the Luke Skywalker that we want in The Mandalorian, and as much as everybody has complained about the CGI, I am fine with it, because in that moment, all I saw was Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker wrecking shit like I knew he would. That was always in my mind, like the type of wrecking that was always in my head when I was playing with my little Return of the Jedi figures as a kid. Okay, I've got no issue with it. But moving forward, no, I wouldn't want to see a CGI Luke Skywalker miniseries. I would not want to see a CGI moving forward Luke Skywalker movie or whatever. If you wanted to do an animated series and let Mark voice Luke, cool, I'm down with that. But as far as a live action, I think it's time to pass it to another actor. And I thank Mark Hamill very, very much for what he has given us, not only in the movies, but especially in The Mandalorian with this character. Absolutely, I thank him for it. But my personal opinion is, if you're going to do Luke Skywalker in the future, it's time to find another actor, be it Sebastian Stan or somebody who looks like Mark, and can pull off the role well. But either way, you create the stories, you build the connective tissue to the sequel trilogy, you retcon what you can. Like, I've heard rumors and theories the last couple days of Luke goes to Ahch-To, not because he's a strange old hermit who broke off from the Force, although that's what we were led to believe in The Last Jedi, but really, it's because he was trying to protect Grogu. He actually saves Grogu from the destruction of the Jedi Temple. It's kind of a weak story arc to me, but I'll allow it. Those types of retcons are fine for me. They may not be my favorite choice, but I would accept it. If that's what you need to make the fans say, okay, I can stomach this more, then cool. Because let's remember, when we had episode 2 and episode 3 and the sequel trilogy in general, people hated it. As much as they hate the sequel trilogies, the prequels were hated just as much. And then the Clone Wars came around and gave that connective tissue between 2 and 3 that made the prequels better. So there's nothing that says that right now, with the 25-year gap between The Mandalorian and The Force Awakens, and all the stories and the story arcs and the spin-offs that could come in and build in that storyline, can't make those movies better to the fan base. There's plenty of room for fixing that. But I still don't like The Rise of Skywalker being the end of the Skywalker saga, because it felt rushed. I think there was a story there that could have been better, but it was choppy as shit, and it was rushed, and of course, I don't want that to be the end of the Skywalker saga. So give us 10, 11, and 12. Or give us a series that takes place after Rise of Skywalker, a TV series that helps build on the lore that you've already presented us, but builds it in a way that gives a respectful and good conclusion to the anthology of the Star Wars Skywalker saga. From there, sky's the limit. Let's go. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, which Dave Filoni we already knew he's the Padawan of George Lucas. He knows Star Wars. We already know that Dave has the respect, he has the knowledge, he has the ability to create Star Wars that we love. Again, I point to Rebels, I point to Clone Wars, I point to episodes of The Mandalorian. He made us love a character we hated. When Ahsoka Tano first came out in the Clone Wars cartoon movie, nobody liked her, but the Clone Wars fixed that, and to the point she's one of the most beloved Jedi in Star Wars lore. So we know Dave Filoni knows what he's doing. Then you got Jon Favreau. Now, I'll be honest with you. I was never a big Favreau fan. I wasn't. Like, I liked Iron Man. I hate Elf. I hate it. I know I'm getting, like, blasted in the comment sections right now. I hate Elf. And it's not John's fault that I hate Elf. I hate Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is not funny to me. To me. Again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. But to me, I never liked Elf. But I saw that John loves Star Wars. I saw that in the sequel trilogies, where John was taking roles just so he could be in the movie. Okay, cool. I'm down with this. All right. And this guy wants to create a TV show about characters I never cared about. I don't care about the Mandalorians. I didn't. I gotta rephrase. I didn't care about the Mandalorians. I didn't care about their lore. I thought they were overhyped. I thought everybody was just on Boba's dick. And at this point in my fandom, I thought Boba was a completely overrated character. I thought Boba Fett was a joke. I thought Jango was a better Mandalorian than Boba Fett. A better bounty hunter than Boba Fett. And we're building, in my mind, we're building a mythology during the Legends and stuff like that about a race of beings or whatever, the Mandalorians, simply because we thought Boba looked cool in his armor. I thought that was weak. I thought that up until they introduced Boba Fett into the Mandalorian, and changed my mind. And guess who I have to credit for that? Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is, to my mind right now, the savior of the Disney Star Wars legacy. He, with this 16-episode show, has done more for the continued current lore of Star Wars than any of the sequel trilogy, more than Solo. I'd say he's there with Rogue One. I actually do have a very strong place in my heart for Rogue One. I thought Gareth Edwards did a phenomenal job with Rogue One. So I'm excited again to see the fan base unify in the idea of more Mandalorian. And of course, the love of seeing Luke Skywalker on scene and seeing grown men become 8-year-old little boys crying again because we got to see our hero one final time. I'm absolutely for that. And I want to thank Dave Filoni and I want to thank Jon Favreau and I want to thank Mark Hamill and I want to thank, of course, George Lucas, because none of this would exist without him. But at the same time, I felt I wanted to be able to express why I wouldn't want to see the sequel trilogies or the sequel trilogy movies retcon to the point that they become legends or obscured and thrown away into the $1.99 bin at Walmart, is because of the fact that I feel that the people who played a part in those movies, who are connected to the Star Wars that we love so much. I'm not talking about John Boyega or Oscar Isaac, and I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about Mark, Harrison, Carey, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker. Some of them, most of them, could never do the role. Of course, Billy D. Williams. I have to put him in there, or else people be like, "What? You got a problem with Lando?" No, not at all. But they're all at that age that either they're unfortunately no longer with us, so we can't get another performance out of them, or they're just too old that they wouldn't even be able to do another movie again without those characters being recasted. And I think that would be a sin because we have on film our goodbyes to Carrie, our goodbyes to Kenny, our goodbyes to Peter. I'd rather see those exist simply for that reason. But guys, what do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you thought that what I'm saying is a good idea, or if you don't agree, tell me your reasons why it would be better if we just erased 7, 8, and 9 and built from the Mandalorian up to what you think would be a better story arc for the Skywalker saga. Because the one thing I'm pretty sure is that we all agree that Episode 9 is not where the Skywalker saga should end. Regardless of how it gets there, we know that's not the right finale for this 40-year legacy. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out the other podcasts of Breaking the Fourth Wall. And, of course, guys, I will see you again after Christmas, because we will be doing another Breaking the Fourth Wall weekly show this coming weekend. And, of course, on Saturday, we will be recording and releasing yet another Legends of the Forgotten Gods. So make sure you're checking all that out. And let's look forward to the end of 2020. But until then, drink some eggnog, eat some fruitcake, open some presents, enjoy your friends and family. Be safe, be healthy, but be merry. Merry Christmas, guys, and may the Force be with you.